Hello, Charm family. Thank you for being there for another episode of the War of Destined. My name is Marisol, and today we are going to talk about episode 105 Love and Other Cupid Disasters. So, enjoy. Okay, so Love and Other Cupid Disasters. This is an episode about love. Love, love, love. And it's based on the mostly on the Cupid witch of the show. They are Prue, Cassandra, and Charlotte. Especially the relationship between Prue and Cassandra. So let's start with the synopsis for this episode. So it says, demonically in love. When two people love each other, naturally they have to be together. And a cupid can make everything work out perfectly, but even the most pure of creatures makes mistakes. When a certain cupid witch makes a disastrous mistake, she is in a race against time to fix things before things turn from horrible to unfixable. She will unwillingly need Prue's help to get out of this mess, but it won't be easy. Elsewhere, Prue's love life isn't going perfectly easy either, as there is always one obstacle after another. Yeah, so this is the synopsis for this episode. First, let me tell you that the name of this episode is based on the movie Love and Other Disasters. Sometimes these kind of names inspire me to come up with the names for my episodes, and it's going to happen it happened in a few episodes. So yeah. This is also the first episode of Destin with the name Cupid in the episode. So let's get to this episode. I have fun writing this one episode because it's the first one based on Cupids in Destin, and in this episode we get to know more about the relationship between the Cupid sisters, Prue, Charlotte, and Cassandra. So yeah, let's get this started. Um, let me just tell you that we won't dig too much in the Cupid world, meaning that we won't be taken to Cupid's temple in this episode, but we'll get there in episode 119, if I'm correct. So yes, we will get there. So, the episode starts with Prue and her father, Cube. They are talking about some tasks the elders and Cupids are giving to Prue. As all of you know, Prue and Charlotte, Phoebe's daughter, they have already the Cupid rings, and they also have charges. Obviously, Charlotte is more into the Cupid thing than Prue. Prue is it's more like the all powerful witch. She's more like the fighting type, so she doesn't get a lot of charges in when it's concerned to Cupid's job. But Charlotte does. Um, about Cassandra, Cassandra has just received the Cupid ring, so she has never had any charge. Let me just tell you that the three of them, they were born with Cupid powers, obviously. So the beaming thing and other Cupid powers, like sensing, they can use those powers without the need of a ring. But when it comes to the the work, the real work for like matching couples or time travel, um, that kind of things, that can only be accessed by wearing the ring. So those powers are ring powers, you know. And just to clarify this, because even when they were born part Cupid, they don't have access to all of the powers without the ring. When they possess the ring, yes, it's full Cupid powers. Without it, only a few. They can only use a few. So just to clarify this, in case you have doubts about this. So back to the episode. Coop tells Prue that she was assigned as Cassandra's guide in the Cupid work. Um, and Prue is not very pleased to know this. To know that she was assigned as Cassandra's guide, because Prue and Cassandra's relationship is a little like, you know, from Charm, Prue and Phoebe's relationship. So yeah, that's uh, that's the thing, the eldest sister and the youngest, and yeah, not good. Charlotte is like the peacemaker between them. So yeah, back to the episode. Cassandra is Prue was assigned to be Cassandra's guide, because because exactly because of the relationship. And we will learn in this episode that Cassandra, like, she has some kind of admiration towards Prue, and the elders and Cupids knew that. So to this was a way to make the two of them work better together, and that's why they assigned Prue to be Cassandra's guide. Obviously, Prue doesn't like it, but yeah, she accepts it. And it is funny because Cupid mentions that the elders and the Cupids um, are afraid of Prue, because Prue asks why didn't they talk to her, and ask it themselves. And Cube says that probably they are afraid of Prue, which is going to be proven right, because Prue is this strong character, and she's frightening. Yeah, she is. So yeah, okay. And then Prue goes to meet Cassandra and to tell her, hey, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna be your guide. You're gonna learn how to be a Cupid from me. Okay, yeah. I think Cassandra is not happy with this, because obviously she knows, she wants to she wants Prue to be proud of her. And of course, we don't see that at first, but that's what Cassandra is looking for, for Prue to be proud of her. But she doesn't want to disappoint Prue either. So obviously, when she learns that Prue is going to be her guide, she's not very pleased about it. But yeah, okay. This episode is also the first time we see a Cupid working in Destin. We will see this many many times for so many times in Destin. Um, but this is the full thing, the way they work um, with um, with the charges. But we will see more about that, because cupids are empaths naturally, and so when in their family or the friends, they can feel what others are feeling. Of course, that powers is limited, um, to it's limited, um, because they are not the charges. But we will see how will it work when it comes to charge. It's like they can intervene, they can do something to help them, and this is what we're gonna see in this episode. So yeah, back here we move to Act One, and for the first time, we meet Andrea when she shows up in the Hollywood Manor. And who is Andrea? Andrea is Chris's girlfriend. Yeah, she is Chris's girlfriend, and she's immortal, and she knows nothing about magic. Nothing, nothing, nothing. And if you remember, in the previous episode, Chris was afraid of her coming back because demons had become more active, and he was afraid of Andrea finding out about his extra uh, extra work hours, and there she is. She's back. She's back in town. She has been away for like 6 months, and she's back now in Chris's life, and yeah, they're together. And you may ask, why, Andrea? Why did you introduce Andrea here and not, let's say, Bianca? Because all of you remember Bianca from Charm, and we know she and Chris had a relationship. And yeah, sure, naturally, it would be natural to have Bianca here, right? So, but yeah, I didn't want to jump into that here in season one. I wanted Chris to have a relationship before meeting Bianca, because I had plans for Bianca, and I wanted to use what we saw in Charm about Bianca, and I thought that was another a plot for another season, and we will see Bianca, we will meet Bianca, we will love Bianca, um, or hate, I don't know, but that's for the future. Right now, I wanted Chris to have, to do with his magic life and his normal life, having a normal girlfriend with no knowledge about magic, and how it is to balance these two worlds for him. So yeah, moving forward. The Chris still in Chris still about Chris and Andrea. They go to P3, to celebrate her coming back, and everybody else is well, almost everybody, I believe, is in P3, and Andrea and Chris are talking, and Andrea makes some kind of comment about magic, um, and um, and she says something like, which I could snap my fingers and make you make you appear in front of me. This is she talking about the time they were separated, and Chris says something like, "I thought you didn't believe in magic," and she says, "Oh no, I don't. I don't believe in magic." And he goes like, you know, sad because he starts thinking that um that is going to be complicated, because she's a non-magical person. She's a muggle. Harry Potter reference, yeah. So yeah, moving forward, we have Cassandra and her friend Roxy. I don't remember, but I think this is the first time. No, no, no. We have met Roxy before, yeah. But we have the chance to see Roxy again. She will show up a few times in season one, and we learned that Roxy is interested in a guy from college. This guy's name is Greg, and she's interested in him. But what she doesn't know is that Greg is actually a demon, and yeah, Roxy knows nothing about the magic. So she's just immortal. She doesn't know about magic. She doesn't know that Cassandra is a Cupid witch. She knows nothing. So she doesn't know that Greg is half demon. Yeah, yeah. Greg is its son of a mortal woman and a demon father. So yes, she's interested in Greg, and she shares this with Cassandra. At this point, we also learn that Greg is Greg's intentions are to get closer to Cassandra, because his father wants to impress the new source, or the new heirs of the sources, of the source place. So that's why he wants Greg to get close to Cassandra. But obviously, the boy, demon boy, um, is also interested in attending college. He mentions that he never had an opportunity to attend college, and so he's conflicted about also his mortal side, and mortal human side, and his demon side, because he's a demon, but he wants to do something that only mortals, only it's not only mortals, because in Destined we'll see that magical creatures also have a life outside of magic. But for him, he never had the chance to go to college, and he wants to go to college. So, but his father shows up and says, "No, no, no. Your job is to get close to the youngest of the Warrens, so we can get, we can gain points with Leah." So yes, Roxy, it's obviously in kind of in love with the guy, and she decides to make a move, to ask him out, but things don't go exactly the way she expects, and she asks Greg out, but the boy simply says nothing. He doesn't say no or yes or we'll see, nothing, nothing. He just leaves. And obviously, Roxy feels bad, and Cassandra finds meets her friend and finds out what happened. And her friend is it's feeling bad, and Cassandra wants to help. So what does she do to to help her friend? The worst thing she could ever have done. She decides to use her powers to help Roxy. She doesn't think in the consequences. She does. She just does it, and she uses the power of the ring to match Roxy and Greg. But obviously, um, things can work out the way she expects because Greg is a demon. And Cupid's powers don't work on demons the same way they work on humans, on mortals. Um, in this case, Greg is half mortal. Because Cupid's, the, using the ring into a demon could be disastrous. But there is this part of Greg that is, he's the son of a mortal woman. So what the ring causes is like Greg feels like the feeling of possession. He has to possess Roxy. Roxy belongs to him, and what he does is to take her. He kind of kidnaps her, because it's like real life relationships, like the one of the person wants to be the honor of the other, and this is what Cassandra's powers on Greg did. It created on Greg the feeling that he had to possess Roxy, and that's why he takes her and and things go wrong from this forward. So when Cassandra realizes that what happened, she goes to seek for Wyatt's help to talk to Prue, because she knows exactly that Prue and Wyatt get into fights all the time. So so she says like, okay, let me get Wyatt's assistance. So if she has to get mad at someone, she will get mad at Wyatt and not me. And yeah, Wyatt reluctantly he agrees to help her. So we are already in Act Two, and we have this scene where we see that Jackson and Prue's relationship has taken another step, and it's funny what comes next because Wyatt are seen in Prue's condo. Um, and Prue hates when people orb in unannounced. So Wyatt just appears and he sees Jackson and Prue wearing night clothes, like, you know, just a night dress. uh, she's practically naked, and obviously he doesn't like that. So yeah, they have um, they have this uh, this um, this fight, and yeah. So Wyatt Jackson decides to leave because he has a charge, and Wyatt is about to tell Prue. And actually, Wyatt doesn't tell Prue what brought him there, because he's like, interested in knowing what happened between Jackson and Prue, and obviously she doesn't want to tell because she's tired of Wyatt um, getting his nose into her life. Um, so um, so Cassandra shows up, and yeah, Prue ends up learning what happened, and obviously she's not pleased to know what just happened. That Cassandra like matchmake Roxy with a demon. So yeah, and then they go to the manor, and Wyatt keeps asking Prue if she slept with Jackson. And obviously, Chris shows up, Andrea shows up, Melinda shows up, and everybody is curious about this. And she ends up like revealing, yes, I slept with Jackson, and Wyatt, you have nothing to do with it. But obviously, he has something to do with it, or at least that's what he thinks. And in here, we see that Chris is like, he wants to help Prue, Wyatt, and Cassandra with the demon, but because Andrea is there, he's sort of divide into in between helping, dealing with magical problems, and keeping her girlfriend away from those magical problems. Chris ends up taking Andrea away, and Prue, Wyatt, and Cassandra go to try to solve the 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 whole mess that Cassandra created. So yeah, we have a scene where we see the 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 type of the kind of love he has towards Roxy. The girl is frightened in the underworld, and he wants to keep her for himself, and obviously his father doesn't like the idea. So yeah, Prue and Wyatt and Cassandra try to find Roxy, and they actually do. They find her and they go to rescue Roxy. Um, and yeah, there's a fight, and they end up vanquishing Greg, which is you know good for Odell, his father. Um, he gets like kind of mad when he finds out that his son has been vanquished. And Odell decides to get revenge, obviously. We also see in the cave when Wyatt, Prue, and Cassandra go to rescue Roxy. We see that Wyatt gets injured and he can heal himself. So yeah, Wyatt has this ability to heal his own injuries. Back to the manor. They rescue Roxy, and they take Roxy to home, and they obviously did something to make Roxy forget what just happened. Um, Then we have a moment between Prue and Wyatt where Prue has a premonition. Prue has a premonition about her own future, where she sees her husband, her future husband, and she also sees three girls in that premonition. But Prue doesn't recognize the man, her husband. She's looking at his back, so she doesn't know who this man is or will be. And then she comes back to the present, and Wyatt wants to know what she saw, and obviously she doesn't reveal what she saw to him. She comes up with an excuse, and then she leaves and seeks for Chris's advice, and she tells Chris that what she saw. And but one thing she knows, that man she saw isn't Jackson. So who is this man? And Chris questions her. Why is she going to do? You know, are you going to break up with Jackson because you know he's not the man you are destined to be with? And she says, no, I'm gonna keep things the way they are, um, because she wants to live in the present. She wants things to happen naturally, you know, to follow the course they are destined to follow, you know, happen the way they should happen. So she decides to let things the way they are and live one day at a time. So yes. Then moving forward, Cassandra finds out that the demon is alive, but this demon is actually Greg's father, Odell, and not Greg. Odell has disguised himself has Greg to get revenge on the destined ones, and that's what he does. He goes to Prescott Street, and Cassandra sees him, and she believes that is actually Greg. And obviously, again, she seeks for Wyatt's help. This time, Cassandra is also with her. And yes, Wyatt is the one responsible to go for Prue, and he finds Prue again, um, almost naked. And there is an awkward moment between them, but this is funny because if you remember in episode 2, um, Prue walks into the bathroom where Wyatt is taking showers. So Wyatt tells her that you know that now they are even. So yeah, um, this was tied up to that episode. Um, this time, Cassandra gets really mad at I say Cassandra. No, I want to say Prue. Sorry. Prue gets really mad at Cassandra because because of the whole situation. You know, um, the whole thing that got them into this mess, and she gets really mad. Things between the sisters are no good. Cassandra ends up like you know, walking out of the room and locking herself in her bedroom. And Wyatt tells Prue like that she's been too hard on her sister, and they have a deep talk, and we learn a bit about the relationship, because Prue says that she only wants to protect Cassandra, you know, because she's her younger sister and all that stuff. And and Wyatt knows what she's feeling because he also wants to do the same with Prue. He mentions that he used to protect her a lot, and to keep her from doing stupid things, and she's doing the same. Um, and we learned that Prue is the way she is because she just wants to protect the ones she loves. And so Prue goes to apologize to Cassandra, and inside the bedroom, Cassandra is having a conversation with Charlotte, and Prue ends up listening to that conversation. That conversation where Cassandra says to Charlotte that she admires Prue and she would like to be like Prue. And obviously, Prue listens to that conversation, and she ends up walking in and revealing her present, revealing that she had listened to what Cassandra said, and both sisters make pieces. And also, Prue invites Cassandra to be part of the fight, and so the demon shows up, Odell, and they fight. You know, he fights against the Destined One. He reveals his true identity, and Cassandra is the one ending up vanquishing the demon using a potion. So yeah, the demon is gone. Yeah, point for the Destined Ones. Yoo-hoo. Uh, but yeah, the world is saved once more. Obviously, Phoebe's house is a mess, and they have to clean up. And this is where Jackson shows up again, and obviously Wyatt doesn't like to see Prue and Jackson together. We also meet Cassandra's and Charlotte's dates. They go out on a date, so Prue is like, left to clean the whole mess with Jackson's help. But okay, Wyatt obviously leaves, and in the moment that Wyatt is leaving, Prue looks at his back, and what happens? What happens is that she recognizes Wyatt's back from the premonition, and she knows at that very moment that the man she saw in the vision was Wyatt. But, but, she shakes that thought out of her head. For her, it's unthinkable to 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 think that she can have something with Wyatt. Wyatt is her cousin, period, and they kind of have this love and hate relationship. So that's all. There's nothing more. So she tries to shake that thought out of her mind. But she recognizes his back in that moment, and the episode ends with Wyatt saying to himself that that he is not going to give up, that he will fight, and this is the moment he acknowledges his true feelings about Prue. um, and this is where the fun is actually going to start, because next episode Wyatt will take actually a real attitude, towards fighting for the woman he loves, and it's gonna be interesting see how that happens. um, and we're gonna talk about this thing about them being cousins, because I know for some of you you have doubts about cousins relationships and all that stuff. And we'll talk about that in the next episode, but I just want to say this. This is a show, and in shows, in TV, in movies, in the theater, and all in books, anything can happen. You have to be open to that. That everything is possible, and so you have to be open to that. And we're gonna talk about that because I want you to. I don't want you to look at it like a wrong thing, because it's not wrong, and I know some of you will disagree with me. But let's say this, in several cultures, marriage between cousins, it's allowed, and cousins relationships are allowed, um, because it's not forbidden, and we saw that a lot through history. And um and of course, for some of us were raised with the idea that that is wrong, and all that stuff. But the truth is that we have, like, I don't know, I've lost count of the of the years, but we have a long history, like a long, really long history, of this kind of relationship between cousins. So yeah, don't look at it so like, like it's a wrong thing, because first, this is a show. It's fantasy. It's not real. And second, it's not entirely wrong. I mean, it may be for some cultures, it is not for others. So keep that in mind, and we'll talk about that in the next episode. So I hope you had enjoyed this episode. I want to say sorry for my voice. It is a bit funny right now. But yeah, it happens. Life happens. So yeah. So this is it, guys. Thank you for being there. Thank you for listening. Make sure you subscribe, leave comments, like, and stay safe. Blessed be. Bye bye.